Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we will be looking at the ONRC Dragon class dropship. I am here with Lunar, whose channel it is, and over to you.
Thank you, Omega, for introducing the video. So, Omega will be taking us around his ONRC Dragon class dropship here today. He's very kindly offered to come on the channel and show us around this beautiful, small grid gone wild-esque dropship we have here. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the sort of the idea behind this ship? Obviously, we've seen a ship from this faction before. We've seen the mainstay armoured cruiser.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell us a little bit about this ship and its purpose?
Yeah, so the main idea behind it is it's a standard, well, every faction really needs it. It's your dropship, it's your Republic gunship, it's your Pelican, it's the thing that'll get your troops onto the ground, do cargo, sort of hauling, sort of your jack of all trades, basically. I just always wanted to build one, and finally got the chance to build one that I really like the look of, and that's about it. There is some lore behind it where in this sort of Exodus thing that happened in the lore where basically we went from Earth to the new system, basically these were the sort of original ships that sort of ferried everyone off the world, at least in the sort of my perspective of the lore for my faction, and it's sort of gone down through the generations, and this is the sort of latest version of that kind of ship. That's about all I have for it, really.
So are these supposed to be quite a common sight in your fleet then? These are supposed to be like, you know, the soldier's best friend?
Yeah, basically, yeah. A bit like the A10, I think, yeah. If you've got soldiers on the ground and obviously they're being pinned by fire, they're going to want to see this, sort of giving them some fire support and helping them out, dropping some supplies, some more ammunition down. This is basically what that's for. And also dropping down new troops, as you'll see in the interior in a bit.
So let's have a little bit of a look around the... Sorry, go on.
Nah, it's good.
So let's have a little bit of a look around the outside here. So we've got multiple sort of subgrids here used to give some... I can see some angling on the tail here, for instance.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, you can actually fold these away for sort of when it's actually like landed and shut off. I want to add as much sort of, I guess, playability as you can possibly get with it. I want to have moving parts, and even though it kind of suffered from it and I had to do a lot to fix it, I just wanted it so it was something the person who subscribed to it could really like play around with and have a bit of fun with, rather than just that sort of sub to it, look around it, and then sort of put it away forever.
Yeah, give it a little bit of life and personality. It is really big, this thing, isn't it? Like...
Yeah. It's. I wanted to make it interplanetary. That was the sort of main thing behind it, and I knew if I wanted to make it interplanetary, it needs to have a lot of space. So I was obviously first off, I was aiming as big as I could. So like, I think I was doing blocks which were like 7 by 7 thick or something. And I just sort of extended that back maybe like 30 blocks back. It was quite a lot, and then I just sort of carved it out with this, and it's just sort of sizing it went with.
Some absolutely incredible agreeable techniques here. We've got multiple uses of these ground arm blocks here. A lot of blast doors.
Yeah, so with large grid ships, which is really my bread and butter, is what I like to go with most of the time. You've obviously got the DLCs for Greeble for the most part. You can usually mess around with that, but with warships, I wouldn't say like there's none of it, but there's sort of less of those DLC blocks, so you have to work with more ground down stuff to really get the point across, I suppose. So obviously you've got areas like this, which are like repetitive ground down Greeble. Where else have I got? I think I had some text panels and stuff which were ground down. It was just really stuff like that to sort of break it all up.
So should we have a little bit of a crack through the inside here? Should we have a little bit of a look?
Yeah, sure. I had to make it really compact. So yeah, you're gonna see when we get inside.
Real quick, it's worth just mentioning we've got a bit of a double door system here.
Oh yeah,
cool little feature.
by some miracle, it happens to be airtight, and there's a button for it, by the way. So when you're in the ground, in the air, you can either have it so that you can open both of them at the same time, or if there's a ramp, just have this one open. Or if troops are, I guess, if parachutes were a real thing for players, jump.
Or if there's somebody you don't like very much.
Yeah.
Or you need a poo. Is there a toilet in here? No, you gotta dangle. You have to dangle your arse over the edge here. Do ant.
Good point.
Do ant poo and then just eject it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we have a little computer here. A little bit of sci-fi skin greeble.
Whoa. Yeah. So the script there is Whip's subgrid gyro manager. I've got that along with his subgrid thruster manager, and they're literally the reason the ship is alive and not spinning into the ground at Mach 10. They've basically, and thank you for showing me that script, by the way. Basically what's keeping it all stable and keeping it all together, and so the thrusters actually work and stuff. So you got a lot of seats here. So initially it was just 6 seats, but I was like, something this big, it really wasn't that. I wasn't really feeling like 6 was enough, so I did some sort of, I guess, double-decker ones, like bunk bed seats, basically. So now I was like 10 seats. I couldn't fit a ladder in. So, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like a sort of a greeble ladder.
Yeah, because I couldn't fit an actual ladder in. We got green lighting here, which might be a bit odd, but the reason behind that is there's this one, you know the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
You know the movie. So
yeah.
There's that one scene that you never see again with the Republic gunship where it's like red light, green light inside the interior of it. And basically when the ship's landed, when you've sort of pressed that timer block, which has it as it is, it's a green light, so the troops all know, okay, I can get out the ship. When you're actually in the air, it turns to a red light to tell you it's not safe to go out.
Okay.
It's a bit of a homage to that. It was gonna be air vents that did it, just to tell you if the atmosphere outside was pressure airtight or not. But obviously the atmosphere is not airtight, so that didn't really work. And I kind of like this idea more anyway.
No, this is a really cool little feature, because it is, it's important for the troops to know, if the doors get blown off or whatever, then it's important for them to know when to actually get out. So
yeah,
I think it's definitely quite an important feature.
Yeah. So if we go up the way, go your door here. So it's a bit cramped, and well, that's the sort of story of this whole ship's interior's life. You've got your gunner seat and you got your cockpit. So the cockpit at the front obviously controls the ship. The gunner seat, that's like turret control and stuff.
Do you want me to hop in the gunner seat and then you hop in the pilot seat so you could show us the features? Because obviously you've flown this before and I haven't. Or I can fly it if you want, and we can see how user-friendly it is.
Let's test the user-friendliness, I guess.
Let's give it a go.
Oh god. Okay. Are the dampeners? You want the dampeners on?
Dampeners are on.
There's 2 timer blocks there. I think it's a 6 and a 7.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Like on first bar. So you wanna. Those are fine for now, actually. So if you just press P and sort of bring it up a bit.
I feel like I'm learning how to drive.
That's one minor there, Lunar. A bit too fast. You want to just keep going up until you're sort of a nice sort of height. Then you want to press 7. 7 basically undoes all the locks. So that
hang on, wait. My numbers are backwards. 7, 9, 8, 7. Right, yeah. Press 7. Yeah.
Yep, and then you want to press the one next to it. So that's my equivalent to 6, and that's gonna make him go forward. Basically, that means you've got less upwards thrust, and it is kind of poor, I'm not gonna lie, but it means you've got more of that forward thrust, and you've got that standard sort of wing formations, which is nice to see, or nicer to see. In this sort of formation, you can actually get outside of atmosphere. Just because of hydrogen thrust, you got about 10.8 minutes. Sort of get out. It's just the hydrogen tank gives it that much. Not sure if we want to test that theory of it being able to get out of atmosphere, because one would take a while, two would be embarrassing if it didn't. But you get the idea. Yep, you got your rockets, and you've also got your 2 autocannons.
So does that hinge pivot?
The hinge doesn't pivot. I was just about to get onto that. Basically, instead of pivoting, the hinge is basically like a multi-tool feature, so you can actually take that autocannon off and replace it with whatever you might want. So be it a spotlight, a welder, landing pad clamp, connector. So it's not so much a turret, it's more just a multi-use tool.
Right, okay.
And I know people maybe want a few more weapons on it, so that's your sort of chance to add it.
I like the inclusion of the shoulder-mounted rocket pods there.
Yeah, I just thought I needed a bit more sort of weapons, I guess. It just needed something a bit heavier, so even if you didn't have those autocannons, you still had something. So yeah.
So how do I go about bringing this thing back down then? What order do I have to press these blocks to flip it back into VTOL mode?
Yeah, basically. There's nothing really that complex about it. It's just you get it so it's back, so the thrusters are facing upwards, and then you just slowly bring it to the ground.
Do I have to relock it, or?
You don't have to relock it. It's just for stability's sake.
You
you more see
a fucking thing at the moment. Holy crap!
Yeah.
God damn. There we go. See.
It's more for the stability thing. Is more for we're good. We're good. Yep,
I broke it.
We're all right.
I broke a nacelle. I'm sorry.
Nah, we're good. We're good. More or less working.
That's my bad for flying it like it's a fucking fighter.
That's all good.
Boom! Another happy landing. So that was actually pretty easy to fly, to be honest. I mean, not a lot of... What?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be worse, to be honest. I thought we were going to be crashing left and right. Not because you're a bad pilot, just worried about the upwards thrust, but yeah. What was I going to say? That stability feature, sort of with the locking, that's more for... You would see it when you're sort of coming down into the planet. What happens is it begins to shake an awful, and you want to just press that so the thrusters aren't flying all over the place, because it's especially those advanced rotors here that are sort of on the nacelles for the elevation. Those start going wherever they want to go. So you really just want that locked so that your main thrusters go in the direction you want it going in, I guess.
Can you fold in the tail fin so we can have a little bit of a look of what that looks like?
Yeah, sure. And I've got myself stuck behind my own ladder. Okay, so number 8, we'll fold those in.
Lovely.
And again, it's just like a play feature, really. It's not got any functionality.
Oh yeah, but it's cool, you know. It's I think it's a nice feature. So, do you want to go... Omega's got some blueprints of the sort of stages of development that he very kindly offered to show us. So, do you want to go have a bit of a look at that now?
Yeah, sure. I just thought I'd show you guys the build process and how I went about it. Yeah, let's teleport up to that unnamed grid, because I'm terrible at naming things. The lag line here. So, this, in honesty, this isn't the first one. The first one was really just like a brick. It was like a bunch of 7 by 5 by 5 blocks sort of pasted together in a sort of line shape. And basically what I did was I was just random bits of sort of square greeble, as you can see. And just sort of getting something that vaguely looked dropship-y. So I knew what I wanted with sort of advanced rotors and stuff, and the hinges. I knew I definitely wanted that in. So I sort of compensated for that. So I knew that I was going to have that. So I obviously wanted those arms to be fairly thick, so I could have the advanced rotors. And then I sort of added these sort of thrusters in, and really here I was sort of I knew the sort of range of the thrusters, so these atmospheric thrusters only have like a 1x1 block width, if I mean, so I can really sort of get away with a lot in terms of having those ion thrusters in front of it and just sort of embedding them in like that.
Yeah, took them in.
Yeah. So you've also got the interior. This is actually the first one I used to sort of test if the thrusters would actually like hold its own weight. So
Yeah.
it's actually got like gyroscopes and batteries and all sorts inside it before I even thought about adding interior. And it's also got this sort of free hinge hydrogen system, where basically that was going to be VTOL 2. I had to scrap that unfortunately because the hydrogen thrusters were causing too much sort of it was making a really unpleasant sound when you fired the hydrogen thrusters forward because there wasn't that much mass to sort of balance it out on the hinge. So I just got rid of it. And also just too many subgrids, to be honest. Moving on to this one, this is sort of the stage where I was messing around with warfare thrusters, I think. And I got a more sort of solid layout here, so I ditched one of thrusters. I think I was still on the hingey part, but yeah. I think it was a more shelled out interior. I actually did block some of the stuff back together because I wanted just to sort of get an idea of it as a more solid shape that I was about to start greebling. It's not really that much more different from the one before it, so it's really at this one over here, which is the next one, which it really starts to sort of, the greeble sort of comes into play.
Start to carve some shape into it here.
Yeah, so the first thing I did was I got these sort of, any of the atmospheric thrusters really. I sort of did that sort of curvy round sort of greeble, trying to make it look like a half sort of moon semicircle.
Yeah.
And once I got that, I liked it, and I did that on every other atmospheric thruster because I wanted to get sort of consistency in that. So at that point, I just sort of got on all the greeble there, and I sort of started to fill in the gaps, as you can see, sort of like in this big thruster here, sort of add some more additional greeble with blast doors and stuff. And then I sort of moved on to like the preliminary cockpit layout. Obviously that's got the same atmospheric thing, so it was quite easy to sort of get shaping off that. My sort of first thoughts in here on like a seating arrangement, I think. So
We had the benches.
yeah, I did have the benches, and then I sort of realised that may not have been the best idea for a ship that sort of goes from planet to planet. It's not really a rover, it's like fucking church pew you've got over there.
They look sick.
They do look sick, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Church
from, like,
pew, they look fucking great.
yeah, but like,
church pew.
yeah, but like you're gonna want to like strap yourself in with like a proper passenger seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's something I would more say. Okay, fine, agree to disagree.
Right. The next one.
Anyway, we're done on this one. I think this was the point where.
What do you mean church pew? Where did that come from?
Too much Top Gear Burma special, I think.
Oh god, yeah, Hammond's lorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Anyway, right.
Me trying to figure out what's different on this one. Yeah, I think the only thing I changed on this one was just sort of added this sort of armour plating just to sort of beef up the thrust back. I think I quickly got rid of that, and then just some sort of subtle bits of greeble that I sort of added. It really wasn't that much difference, to be honest. To be honest. I think maybe also some messing around with the painting, but other than that, it really just starts to develop at this point, where I've sort of added in more hinges. I've really sort of added a lot more greeble, and this is like where I spent most of my time sort of figuring out how to get the scripts running and get so it wasn't turning oddly, and just really getting it so it was airtight and all that. You can see this is the point where I've actually committed to just not having the hinge hydrogen thrust. I've replaced the connector, a hydrogen thrust over connector, so it's less hydrogen being used. I've added these blue lights where the atmospheric thrusters are to sort of unite it with the sort of ion thrust.
I was just looking at that, you know. That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, if you get the offset just right, it actually like glows on the inside of the atmospheric thrust. It's quite neat.
That's dope. I didn't notice that on the planet because it was too bright, but...
yeah, you can really only see it when it's like nighttime or in space, but yeah.
That looks sick.
I think this is actually the first time I sort of showed people this and sort of got people's thoughts on this. I remember taking a picture of this one.
Yeah.
The interior is still more or less the same. It's still got the sort of gyro layout and just power and stuff, so not much change in there really. It's only really when we get to this one, which is the final version, which is when I think literally yesterday I'd finalized the interior. So the interior obviously changed quite a bit between now and then. So you've got the red lights, you've got seats, you've got basically everything I've showed you really. So just exactly as it is now. A lot of it was also just little fine details like sort of sound block on the Gatling, actually adding the Gatling thing, sound block on that. Literally, like, I don't know, half an hour before publishing, I decided to add these sort of orange stripes, so they're just to make it really pop and just felt a bit bland, and I just wanted to mess around with the colours a bit more.
Yeah, I definitely think they give it a bit of kick, a bit of zip.
Yeah.
A zang, yeah.
Also, if you've seen like my nose art in War Thunder with the big orange beak, that may or may not have influenced it. What
Very
else?
nice.
I also added just like the text panels that sort of said dragon, and originally had Marek Rosa nose art, but that will never see the light of day, fortunately.
Did you have the version with it?
No, I think I deleted it out of shame.
Ah, okay.
I could probably like put it on to show them, but I really don't want to.
No, okay, we'll leave it then.
Yeah, that will stay dead and gone. Oh, there is also this one last feature I forgot to mention actually on the surface, but I will get it reworking at some point. Basically, this connector is specifically for adding sort of medium cargo containers on connectors to it, and you'll see that the initial issue here is you've got this atmospheric thruster, which would just burn it, so that's why you've got a sensor there, and the sensor basically just detects the medium cargo container, and it goes, okay, medium cargo container there, just turns off that atmospheric thruster so it's not burning it. And really you have to use that sort of landing mode to sort of give it that extra kick to hold like cargo loads, just because you know how much they weigh, it's quite a lot, so...
Yeah, they can get quite heavy.
Yeah. At the moment I'm still running through some issues with it, so it is a bit broken, but I'll hopefully get that fixed in a bit. But other than that, that's really about it as far as the developments go. Took about a week maybe, just on and off, obviously, got school and stuff, but in my sort of off time, that's about how long it took.
Well, I think everybody will agree that this is an absolutely incredible build. Like, this is one of the most detailed dropships I've ever seen, and it's one of the coolest dropships I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and
thank
I hope you see good fruits of your labour, because this thing is absolutely stunning, and it definitely puts my dropship to shame. Wait,
nah, that's...
Right, let's get a photo together. Bruh. Oh man, that's funny. But thanks for coming on the channel, Omega, and thanks for showing us around this awesome ship. If you guys want to check this ship out along with Omega's workshop and the collection, you can do so in the description or the pinned comment in the comment section down below. Anything else from yourself, Omega, before we wrap things up?
Not really. Just want to thank you for having me again. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe to support the channel, and as always, take care, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ONRC Dragon class dropship. Is it a dropship? Today we're going to be taking a look at the ONRC... Fuck! Today we're going to be taking a look at the ONRC Dragon class.
Oh my god, why can't I say this?
Today we're going to be taking a look at the oh my god. How is this going so badly?
Hello, it's Scott Manley here.